Job seekers frequently send a cover letter along with their CV as a way of explaining their suitability for the desired position. This is how Wikipedia defines a cover letter. But this is also not how it works with the CDTM. So, what is different to the usual cover letter and why? First of all, it's called a motivation letter for a reason. So a motivation letter is a chance for you to show yourself as a person. And we don't want you to repeat the 4 buzzwords of our slogan. And we also don't want you to repeat your CV with the fine sparkling of exaggeration on top of it. Instead, you could answer questions such as, what drives you? We are really interested on that. Or why is the CDTM the next step for you and what brought you here? Or what skills can you contribute to the CDTM and its community? Of course, this can be very specific, and we have several task forces here at the center who help run the CDTM. So if you are enthusiastic about events, you might be the one organizing the next Inspire and Dine. Or if you are deep into coding, you might be able to revamp the application tool. The scope of tasks range from keeping our IT up and running to organizing community events and promoting the CDTM to the outside world or producing these videos. So, secondly, this is not a job application. Even though you might be used to writing these cover letters for internships, this is not a generic letter. Please keep that in mind. We want to get to know you as a person. So what drives you? What setbacks have you experienced? And what do you do in your spare time besides all the fancy experiences I'm sure you have on your CV? And last but not least, how to approach this. So there is no one-fits-all approach, of course, but one thing is important. Take your time. Since this is not only listing your achievements, but more about you personally, of course, you want to get it right. Get feedback from other people. Even though, of course, it's tough to go out to others, ask them what's missing on your really personal motivation letter, they might help you telling you what's missing on it, what was unnecessary, what you could perhaps say on other words, which is really important and very valuable feedback. And be creative. There are a few very creative examples out there. So if you feel like thinking outside the box, go for it. If you don't go for it. It's completely fine. So let's hear some tips and examples.
Kike, what's your best tip for the motivational letter?
My best tip is to be really honest and try to make it sound like you. So if you write something that you end up reading and you're like, okay, that's not really me, I'm trying to pretend to be someone, throw it out and write it again.
I think you just need to understand, okay, what can I bring to this community and why do I actually want to be part of this community? And then you can grow from there. Yeah.
Your best tip for the motivational letter?
Really think about what do you want to get out of CDTM. There's 100 different things you can get out of it, and not everyone's able to get everything out of it. So really, really reflect on what your goal is. Why do you want to be here? Why do you want to spend so much time here?
I was super honest. I come from Pakistan. I do not have the crazy internships that, for example, people in other parts of the world might have. But I have some other experiences that I made in the country. And I was just really honest on my motivation. I did not try to make anything look better than it was. And yeah, I would say try to make it as human as possible, because in a crowd of overachievers, the only way you can stand out is being yourself and being human.
Did you do anything special in the motivation letter?
I think I really tried to tell a story. I wasn't trying to answer any specific questions and really put as much information as possible in there. I just talked about my story.
It had a lot of personal details in there. Really personal motivation of where my interest in education and technology comes from. And I think that made it special.
Thanks so much, Kike.
You're very welcome.
So, no. To sum it up, take enough time to write your letter, reflect on yourself and your motivation for CDTM, and get feedback. Keep these tips in mind because they will stay relevant in the next episode about the essay.